lunch with one time for the fan now.
We're
Um,
lunching.
Yeah, man. I
so
noticed, man.
big out
Yeah.
to you.
Had to
Uh,
change up the menu, family.
Sheesh. Hey,
Mm.
man, it's going down in a major way. We'll just talking a little bit about Raheem and, of course, Terry's press conference with the Falcon fans right here. Quickly, Chris, can you let everybody know your social media and where everybody can find you?
Oh man, well, Twitter A1 Forever, Instagram A1 Forever, the real A1 Forever on TikTok, and of course YouTube A1 Forever Sports. Man, come
Hey,
on
it's
through,
going
have
down.
old conversation.
Hey, it's going down in a major way, man. You heard Raheem's press conference this week. Before we start talking about Terry Fontenot's press conference, just give us your take quickly on what you heard from Raheem when he was speaking to the Falcon fans.
Uh, well, really, man, sound like a guy who was ready to get out of there and get evaluating. It's definitely a growth process, man. I mean, just even between both of the press conferences, I was more interested. Me personally, I was more interested in Terry's. Raheem's was cool, so enough, I mean, of course, he's not going to throw too many guys under the bus, but I know one thing that stuck out was how he was saying that how embarrassing it was and how surprised he was about how they played defensively.
Mm-hmm.
That was so, but the whole thing with Terry was you can find a few different points. Um, Hindsight, I think if Terry could do it all over again, I don't think he would have signed Kurt for all that money. I don't think he would have signed Judon or Simmons. Said Kyle Pitts, I feel like his future is up in the air as well. I mean, just little tad bits from what we've heard from both of them, man. It's some decisions to be made, man. We don't have a lot of capital or cap space to do it. So a lot of tough decisions coming forward. I know they're doing the evaluation process. That word was thrown around a lot. So we'll see what happens, man, moving forward, just briefly.
A1, you talked about moving forward. Raheem mentioned when they asked about Terry Fontenot being here, going forward, he said he hopes so and that they're just getting started. You
Right.
hear those comments
Right.
from your head coach as the general manager is going to probably need an extension here to be with the Falcons going forward.
Right.
But hearing Raheem say, we're just getting started, kind of shows you that I think Raheem and Terry's all in on what the future here in Atlanta is going to be played out to be, man. So what's your thoughts on
I
just
agree.
Raheem mentioning, his trust for his brother Raheem? I mean, his trust for his brother Terry Fontenot.
I mean, I understand where it comes from. I mean, Terry has done some things. Of course, not every draft pick has panned out. I know that's the first thing a lot of people jump to, but he does have some home run hitters, man. I mean, you look at it, Mike, we got our big three that he drafted. So brought in, helped bring in Darnell Mooney. That's another guy. I mean, but a lot of people, jump on him about the Kyle Pitts thing. But he did address Kyle Pitts. He said, hey, look, what I'm saying, rookie season was great, but he has not, exceeded that or met that since he's been here. And so that's something else that we got to try to get at. And, you can't, and we haven't been good enough. It's all, he took accountability in some aspects of things, seriously. But moving forward, I think it's going to take at least about a 2-year extension to really just see what's going to what's going to happen. I mean, like, what do you guys think, though? How long do you think the extension is going to be if they keep Terry Fontenot?
T. Will?
I would say it probably would run concurrently with Raheem. So Raheem is signed through what, 2 years from now, 3 years from now?
2027, 2028, I think he is.
Yeah. So it would
Was it 4 or
probably,
5 years?
yeah,
I
it
thought
would
it was
probably
5 years.
run through the end of Raheem's term. I just guessing. I would think
Yeah.
that. Also, just to kind of reiterate, we may not have gotten Penix without signing Kurt because Denver and at least two other teams wanted a
Raiders
quarterback.
for one. Raiders are different.
Minnesota as well, right? And they may have. They're thinking because we have Cousins, we're not going to draft a quarterback. So if not for that head fake, Penix might not be there at 8, right? So it's kind of one of the you can make
I
the
mean,
argument
but
that
but
you
but
don't
see,
know.
yeah, you can make the argument, but that's where I have pushback. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like Pennis was gonna be there regardless. just because we don't even know what they would have had to even give up to even leapfrog us anyway. So like if it's crazy numbers, if people know what you're trying to come after, it isn't guaranteed that they was going to get it. Honestly, I was afraid about the Giants the whole time. That's who I was looking at because I felt like Daniel Jones was not the answer, and obviously he wasn't. But and I was like, man, if it's going to be any team that I'm worried about taking a quarterback, it's the
Ahead of
Giants.
us was the Giants, in the draft
Yeah,
last.
that was on the team I was worried about. I feel like regardless, it was going to be there. And even if you didn't get Michael Penix, regardless, you could have still got a quarterback where you were sitting at and still saved you money. It might have not been Penix. It might have been Bo Nix.
It makes me wonder if the Giants would have took Penix, who we would have took them.
I don't think they wanted Bo Nix because
I don't think they did either. But my point is, you still could have got a quarterback that's better than what you had. I mean, look at Bo Nix and what he's doing in Denver. You can't just say that he's a slouch.
No,
for the Falcons, though, looking at their draft last year and the way they speak of Penix and how some analysts were saying that Penix probably was one of the best, like he is probably the best quarterback taken in that class. If it wasn't Michael Penix, do you think we were gonna go defensive line? Do you think we were gonna go down this turn?
Yes.
Yes.
I think
it was going to be Latu. I mean, apparently, according to what the reports were saying, it was going to be Latu.
Yeah, because the Bijan year is kind of like Jalen Carter. No, it's Bijan. No, it's Jalen Carter. So fans were thinking, well, if it's not going to be Bijan, it's going to be a defensive player. Then you see Penix taken last year. But, I mean, this year, I think all fans can agree it is probably defense, unless you get some surprising news from Jake Matthews or Caleb McGarry or whatever it's going to be if if they want to get ready to ship him out or something, which I'm sure they're probably not. But, yeah, looking at this draft, I'm saying defense right now in January. I think that's where the Falcons going to go. Mark Cheney's in the chat. Big shout out to Mark Cheney too as well. He said, "I've never seen a GM get 4 years to have a winning season." One thing Terry talked about in the interview yesterday, he wasn't worried about job security going forward. I know some people will say Raheem is on the hot seat next season, but I think they're getting ready to probably give Terry an extension. And if that happens, then Terry wouldn't be on the hot seat going forward. But I do see Raheem probably here with Terry until the end of Raheem's contract if they decide to run it back, as some fans are saying here in the fan base. Going to Terry's press conference yesterday, A1, Terry, and Kerry. What are your thoughts about what you heard from Terry Fontenot? Because he did speak of Kyle Pitts yesterday. He spoke about, a little bit about Kirk Cousins too as well, and kind of putting the thought out there to other teams. If you want Kirk Cousins, come trade for him. Or we can keep him as a backup. Will be a $40 million backup, pretty expensive.
Not happening. Not happening.
Probably the most expensive backup in the NFL. At that point, some fans were saying, "Bring Matt Ryan back." Hell, if you're going to do that. But of course, he talked about the draft too as well, mentioning, with the 4 picks that, maybe trade down could be something to look at too as well. If you don't expect it in the first round, I do expect a trade down somewhere in this draft for the Falcons. Can't build this roster with those 4 picks in the draft. So I do expect some type of shakeup here going forward. But hearing about Terry, talk to the Falcon fans quickly when the meeting started and just addressed it. He just addressed the situation that, the expectations wasn't met this year. And seeing Terry take accountability for that early in the press conference, I don't feel like that was a GM that's trying to keep his job or he's trying to win Arthur Blank back over. I think with some of the moves that Terry has made in the offseason the past couple of years and to, rebuild this cap room and get things situated to bring in a guy like Raheem, even though it didn't work out with Arthur Smith, kind of gives him the advantage to stay here for another couple of years to work with Raheem. Because if you bring in a new GM, it's January 10th right now. You got to bring in that new GM Monday morning. You know what I'm saying? Or you have to make the call to go ahead and start looking for a new GM Monday morning because it's January. Like you see the Jets, you see the Titans, you see all these other teams. They're moving. They're getting interviews in right now. Don't be that last team to be on that bus too as well to go get a new GM. You should have made that call Monday morning when you lost to the Panthers. Hey, Terry's not going to be here going forward. We're now looking for a new GM. Jimmy Lake's not going to be here going forward. That's why some fans are looking at Friday like, where's the Jimmy Lake firing news? Where is he going to? Why is he not getting up out of here and he's not going to another team? If you haven't heard no news, some fans are starting to believe that
run it back.
Run it back might be for everybody.
Run it back.
For Zach Robinson, for Jimmy Lake, for Terry, for Raheem, for Grady, for some of these guys that, you know, some fans are thinking these are not the people that they expected to be on the team next year or with the organization. I haven't heard no news about Jimmy Lake yet. The Falcons probably could make some surprising news after this podcast today, and that would be great. But when I
don't
hear
know,
this,
man. Maybe they letting the news roll over because it's snowing, Jack.
That's true too, as well. I mean, 85 was kind of, you know, difficult today to, you know, get around to your location, and I think they shut down parts of the highway too. So maybe he couldn't get. Maybe he got the call this morning to show up to work and couldn't make it. You know what I'm saying? But we'll find out within the next couple of days what's going on with old Jimmy. But if he's here next season, that's what that running back mentality means. Everybody's back in the building. Same for Zach Robinson, same for Raheem, same for Terry. It's that run it back mentality. So Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. T-Will, Carrie, A1, you guys heard what Terry said yesterday. Let's chop it up. Let's talk some Falcons football here. A1, I mean, you just joined in. What did you hear yesterday from Terry?
Well, I mean, I kind of already mentioned a few things from it, but there was anything else I could just think about, like he was just saying about the accountability, about the fact that we haven't won enough. We didn't get the job done. Expectations from players didn't meet. It wasn't met. It just, just different things, man. I know. I feel like it was some good questions being asked too. It was a few questions that may have been, a few statements that may have been a little bit much, but ultimately I feel like, the good questions were being asked and he was answering them to the best of his ability. Some of them I know.
By the book.
Yeah. I was just about to say I know.
You wasn't getting no. Remember I said in the chat, you didn't get no clip farming.
You're not getting that.
Yesterday, all you're gonna get is a guy who's saying we messed up and we need to get better going forward. That's all you're gonna get the whole 30 minutes of the interview.
Period. And that's fine. That's fine. But again, just even listening to that, man, he's saying about going through the evaluation process. Remember, they said they got to have their 360 meetings and evaluate each player, see what the needs are for the draft. I do think the Falcons need to go ahead and trade back. I know we said a lot of us were saying that last year. Falcons trade back, and it didn't happen. So this season you only have 5 draft picks total. Mm-hmm. So and you need to get more draft capital. I really do think so. So one of those things, man. I think we need to trade back, get some more capital.
Chris, quick question to you before we get to Carrie and Terry here. You mentioned the evaluation process the Falcons, Terry and Raheem said they had to go over next week. During that evaluation process, I'm guessing, head coaches, GMs, they're evaluating their coordinators, the staff, the janitor who comes to clean up. I mean, who you evaluating at that time? Because if you're evaluating the players on a NFL level, that means that's your coaches pretty much sitting in a roundtable discussion about who's staying, who's going. And that means that your coaches would be your Zach Robinsons, your Maurice Williams, your Jimmy Lake, your Jerry Gray. So is it Raheem and Terry, you think, next week evaluating the team, or is it everybody sitting around table and talking about how can they rebuild this 53 for next season? Because fans are kind of wondering, well, if you're not getting ready Jimmy Lake this week, and you see the Panthers already made a bunch of moves, kind of revamp their coordinator room. You see a lot of these NFL teams right now is already making a bunch of moves.
Yeah,
grade their coaching staff. Falcons have yet to make no move, and fans are wondering what's going on. So when you hear this evaluating next week, Chris, what do you think is going on there?
The same thing that has been going on since this whole regime has started. The collaborative effort. That's what we can expect.
I was waiting on that word too, just like they was waiting for that word yesterday from Terry.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's been the slogan right there. Everything has been together. It's been that togetherness. I don't expect it to change. I don't. That's why I'm saying I think they want continuity within the organization, the coaches and everything. They want to give it a shot. I mean, you look at it back in 2015, that whole squad got a chance to run it back. So, and I'm looking at history, looking at our owner, looking at the opportunities that other coaches have gotten, looking at the relationship that Rod has with Arthur Blank. It just kind of like, a lot of it is kind of like writing on the wall type stuff, man. You just look at it and logically it's just like, yeah, everybody's going to be back. I hope I'm wrong, to be honest with you. It'd be nice. It could be coming right now, in the next few minutes across breaking news. Jimmy Lake is gone, and then it's premiered right here on One Time for the Fan. You never know. But that's just how I'm feeling in my heart, though, man. My heart, I just feel like we running this thing back. Everybody coming back. We're just gonna try to figure out how can we make it better.
T. Will, you hear the comments from A1.
A1
does a good job talking Falcons football. Does a good job talking Hawks too as well. You heard Terry yesterday talk, and of course we had some time to talk about it in the chat too as well after the press conference. Just your thoughts, Terry, because he mentioned a lot about the draft. He mentioned some things about Kyle Pitts, of course, Kirk Cousins, a backup quarterback situation for Kirk next season. Just the ups and downs of the season. I mean, he only had like 20, 30 minutes to talk to the media. I'm sure we can get more press conferences and season ticket holder calls for the rest of the season with Terry. But just your thoughts on what you heard yesterday.
Sure. If you look behind me, you see the words mea culpa, which is essentially a very detailed apology, right? It's a look at, I'm going to bare my soul. I'm going to come before everybody. And this is what happened, guys. I'm going to try and take this scarlet A off my chest and just reveal who I am. And that was yesterday. Look at the best thing he said was, there's nothing I can say that's going to make you guys feel better. He acknowledged that Kyle Pitts, the pick didn't work out. He didn't perform as he should have been. He was contrite. He did apologize. And I thought he took accountability. But yeah, yesterday to me was Terry's mea culpa. So those are my thoughts.
Big shout out to T. Will for my ATL Sports. Big shout out to Kerry. Big shout out to A1 here talking Falcons football with us on this Falcons Friday. Once again, Falcons fans talking Falcons football on a Falcons Friday, and we're not going to the playoffs. So I just feel so bad just saying that.
It stings, Jack. That stings.
It does. Man. It stings bad, man. Going to this weekend, though, we do have some playoff games coming up. Terry, A1, who you all looking at this weekend for the AFC and the NFC games?
Brother Chris?
Well, this weekend I'm probably looking at who in the world can we draft for the Atlanta Falcons?
Sheesh.
Yeah, my team ain't in it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, I'm bitter, and it's all good. We need to get better. I don't need to be watching what nobody else is doing because my team ain't in there doing it.
Are you drunk dialing the Falcons this weekend, Chris? It could have been so great. Why didn't you call a timeout, Raheem? Damn you. Are you drunk dialing the Falcons this weekend?
Nah, man. I promise you I can find some other things to do outside of watching these playoff games, man. What the thing about it is when it get more closer, kind of like Final Four, I'll probably pay it some more attention. But this weekend, man, I'm doing other things, man, because we supposed to be playing right now, we supposed to be playing, so it's just like, all right, yeah, I'm bitter right now. I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't got it out my system yet.
Well, since you're talking Falcons football, I see Mark's here in the chat.
It was a metaphor for like ex behavior, bro. Like bitter exes. Like you should have leaned into it, man. We gotta rehearse that next time.
Man, you gotta let me know, man. You gotta
Yeah, we should
You
have
gotta,
rehearsed.
you gotta let me know.
Would have been great. I'm sorry, Jack. Go ahead. What you got, buddy?
No, we just talking Falcons football. You know, Mark Cheney's in the chat. He said, if he was
Mark.
willing to pay big money for a backup, we should have never traded Matt. I want Terry to be
Matt was
successful,
done. Matt
but
was
he's
done.
no better than Dimitrov. T. Will.
Bro, Matt was done. Okay, let's clear the air. Okay, I love me some Matt Ryan. In my humble opinion, the best Falcons quarterback we have ever had. But I know, you know, Kerry, and Chris A1, Matt was done. Matt couldn't throw it out by the time we traded him. Okay, he threw it at 12 o'clock. It got there at 6 p.m. Okay, Matt was
Sheesh.
done. So love Matt to death. First ballot Hall of Famer. Greatest Falcon
645 to be honest with.
Amen. Matt was
Gosh.
done. Matt was done. Okay.
Quarter
Six
till?
forty, 645. No. 645.
Let's
645.
put that to bed. Let's
But-
put that to bed.
but,
Matt was done.
Hey,
okay?
hey, see now I'm ready to go ahead and pull up Matt Ryan coach stats and pull up Kirk Cousins stats this season.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh,
Jack, can we do that?
you're
Can
not
we see
doing
who can we see who fell off the cliff?
that. Oh man.
Who is the cliffhanger,
wow.
Jack?
Oh wow.
Oh, man.
Oh wow. You know what? Hey man, Matt was a great Falcon. We don't need to expose, you know.
Well, see, you're right, T. Will. He was a great Falcon. I
Right.
said pull up his Colts.
Oh, wow. Let's not do that. That's just mean, A1. That's just mean.
Let me go ahead and give
That's
A1. He
mean.
gets a wow for the day. There it is.
Oh wow.
Hey, that's my first one ever, so I feel good. That's my hey. It's snowing outside. You know that's abnormal too. Hey, so everything should be all right.
Oh wow.
Hey.
Okay.
Talking Falcons football here. Jeff Holton is in the chat. Big shout out to Jeff Holton.
What up,
He
Jeff?
said they aren't going to make any changes. Jeff Holton
See,
is
Jeff
in
gets
I
it.
don't think so either. I don't think so either.
Jeff gets it.
If you were gonna fire, because first off, bro, you need if you're gonna get a defensive coordinator, you got to move. The fact that we're gonna evaluate, I agree with Jeff. That's coach speak for we ain't doing nothing. Run it back. It's like we playing spades. Run it back. Okay, Jack and I just ran a 10 on y'all, and it's get up time. Y'all need to do the Mississippi get back to where you came from. Oh no, we want to run it back. That's what that is. That's
so
what
what Jeff is saying too as well. I mean, they're not going to make any changes. I think he's definitely looking at the coaching staff, thinking like the same thing we thought hearing the press conference this week. I kind of looked at the timing of the press conference where I'm sure the weather played a factor to why Terry was there yesterday at 11 a.m. doing a press conference. But then fans were thinking, well, you can fire Jimmy Lake on Wednesday, and that would be great for, Terry to talk about everything. He's the general manager. Raheem spoke Monday, fire Jimmy Lake Wednesday. Terry speaks Thursday, clears everything up, and then everybody's back to normal. Well, that doesn't seem the case. When you heard the word they're going to evaluate everything next week, that kind of made me think of, they might run it back for real with this staff. So, like Jeff Holton is saying, they aren't going to make any changes. Kerry, you got a chance to listen to Terry Fontenot's press conference yesterday. Just your thoughts on the GM speaking to the Falcons fan base.
Sorry about that. Jimmy Lake cut me off. I'm back.
No.
Should go check on her yacht. Don't park me. Don't park
There ain't no Kerry talking today.
This is not the first time he's done this to me. I apologize.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, like I said earlier, I really appreciated that Terry was brutally honest. I feel like, it's tough making bad decisions or mistakes, but it takes a real one to actually stand up there in front of the world and admit they did wrong or admit they messed up. And I truly appreciate that. Like I've said in the past about Raheem, it's like, I'm not even gonna hold you about making mistakes because I'm not perfect either. It's all about how you respond. And it's all about how all you need to do is just apologize and say, I'm gonna do better. That's all I need. And I appreciated that Terry did that. He said, this was not acceptable. This was not good enough. I mean, quite frankly, they put those expectations out there on the fans, him and Raheem early in the season. So the fans are disappointed. I totally get it because I'm right there with you. But I did appreciate that he was brutally honest and said, we did not win enough games, and no matter what I say right now, it's not going to be good enough.
You heard what he mentioned. You heard what he said about job security too, Kerry. I think it was Mark Zeno who was firing off question after question after question,
Yes, I
trying to back
appreciated
Terry
that.
into a corner there.
I did appreciate that though, because I feel like sometimes the media can be a little like they don't always ask the tough questions. So I did put a tweet out there like, "Wow, the Atlanta media didn't come to play today. Like they really were asking the hard hitting questions, which I appreciated. They were trying to ask what fans want to know. Um, and yeah, he did say job security. I do have job security, and he said not to sound cocky, because that could come off kind of cocky despite another losing record, another
Mhm.
losing season. So it's a tough situation, but for me, I want continuity, and for me, I'm not on the fire Terry train. I'm sorry. Like I said, if anybody has to go, if anybody has to be a scapegoat, for me, it's the DC. And if anything, it's just more so I believe we need a leader that has experience in the DC position in the NFL. So I don't want Raheem fired, and I don't want Terry fired. That's just me, though. That's my opinion. And yeah, I think the Falcons have one of the biggest turnaround in head coaches in the last, I don't know. I think I sent you guys that image. We've had 10 coaches in how long? I have to find that image, but I just would like some continuity all around. As far as the quarterback and the head coach, the GM. Obviously, though, you got to win. So
That's what it's all about.
Was it 2008? Since 2008, well, we had like 10 different coaches.
right? Is that the stat? Yeah, we're up there as one of the biggest turnarounds at head coach.
Hey, still ain't got more than the Raiders.
Sheesh. Falcon fans, big shout out to Jay Black in the chat. He said, panel, there is a rumor about ATL getting Khalil Mack. Don't know if this has been discussed yet. I'm glad Terry cleared the rumor up yesterday. When Kirk had got benched, they quickly started addressing the Falcons will cut Kirk Cousins by this time. And I saw a lot of those reports coming out, not coming from Miles and some of the Falcons media, but people outside of the Falcons media. They did ask Terry that question yesterday. Terry shot that down, saying, no, we never said that. That never came out of our camp over here.
Yeah.
So that was great to hear that, this is what happens behind the scenes. So you see how Jay Black's asking about the rumor about Khalil Mack. There are some things that do happen behind the scenes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure, the Falcons journalists that cover the Falcons don't really get to hear some things too as well. But a lot of these rumors, does get brought to Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter and all these people. But I don't think it's anything that's like super big out there to worry about where, Khalil Mack is possibly going to be coming to Atlanta. Kind of like how it was with Jesse Bates. I think Falcon fans knew that Jesse Bates was probably going to be ending up here in Atlanta. Then you saw the video with Jesse hanging out with AJ Terrell and his agent in Atlanta and everything. And that kind of played into it because there was two people that the Falcons wanted at that time, or the Falcon fans. They wanted DeJuan Payne from Washington, or they wanted Jesse Bates. Sure enough, we ended up with Jesse Bates. But for a guy like Khalil Mack, I don't know if Judon's coming back next year. I don't know even if our cap room will allow us to go get a guy like Khalil Mack. But then again, Terry is a guy who has worked our cap situation out since Matt Ryan was here. And you see what we got a chance to bring in Jesse Bates, and we had some good cap space before the Kirk Cousins situation now. And now we have to go back and try to work on that this offseason, which I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of 1-year deal guys winning again.
A bunch of Lorenzo Carters running around.
You're gonna get your Lorenzo Carters, you're gonna get your, even for like Nate Lemon and those guys, like you got to bring in some guys that's, ready to hit the field now on a like 1-2 year deal, a quick deal, because you're not going to get like no real big name players this offseason. I don't think so, due to that contract with Kurt. But then again, they might work something out. Players restructure. Some people were saying trade Kyle Pitts, and Terry and the organization and that group, they're going to work on that. Here at One Time for the Fan, we're going to talk about everything the Falcons do this offseason. But I do think there is a way to, get some money back here in the Falcons cap room, and it's just kind of difficult that we have to pay Kirk all this money and it didn't work out. And, they have to eat that. They have to eat that. It's just
crazy how Terry is right back in the same situation he started in
with Matt.
Having to dig himself out of a cap hole.
Yeah,
well, but it's you can cut him next year, right? It's not. Look, this is essentially a 2-year deal, right? So you may have to pay a little bit next year, but it is not like this albatross hanging around our neck. It was a 2-year deal. It says 4, but if you read the language, it's really 2. So it's not as bad.
Yeah, it's still too many at this point.
But you're looking at the money now that he's on the bench. If he's your starting quarterback and he gets you where you need to be, so that's how it is when you look at the football.
Yeah. I'm just saying, man. I only got 14 games.
Right, but look it. Number one, I don't care and love Terry F. Baby to death. Kirk is hurt. I don't care what he says. We all saw that.
Kirk was not hurt.
I don't care what Terry says.
Yeah, our general manager, Terry F. Baby, as you like to call him, said Kirk was not hurt. Kirk was as healthy as you and me.
You know what that's like? That's like walking in on somebody's spouse and they're looking say it's not what it looks like. I know this person is in my bed. Let me tell you something.
Terry said that Kirk Cousins was walking on Dante's peak and all of a sudden fell right off the cliff.
I mean, one thing you got to look at too, back when I think it was the Saints game when they started bringing the first initial reports that Kirk could have a problem with his shoulder, I think it was, or his arm. And then Kirk spoke to the media that Wednesday and said, "No, I'm fine, just a normal standard walkthrough." I think that's what the interview was. But they had reported that. Not so many people really bought into that, and it was like, "Oh, well, Kirk will be all right. He's back at practice." And I think that started it there because some fans were mentioning, "Bro, he can barely. His throws are starting to look like Matt Ryan throws.
His velocity was down, which is the first thing. And the second thing is, if you're gonna trade him, you don't want it out there that he was hurt. Now, if you believe that, Chris, I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn.
I'm saying though, check this out, dude. Too, we got to remember. And this is shout out the Tidy over there at Atlanta Bird Gang.
You shout out to Tidy, man.
The interview that he had with Quincy Carter. Quincy Carter even said he's talking about us as NFL players. When we get older into our careers, people think it's the upper that's gone first. Our legs normally go first.
That's true.
And you think about what did he just come off of? Regardless,
injury, right.
So that's just something else to try to take into just perspective of everything. Maybe his body just gave out, and one thing about it, we never know when Father Time gonna hit you. He'll snatch you right out there.
Do you think that's why they went after Michael Penix at that time in the offseason, thinking, well, if Kurt not only can't, we ain't talking about performance wise, but if his body gives out on us around week 13, 14. We need to bring in a guy. I mean, Terry, that's what happened. We need to bring in a guy, that we hope is going to be developed and ready to go out there and lead us the rest of the way. I mean, it's disappointing to be in a position where you were 6-3, and then when you had to, flip quarterbacks, you gave Michael Penix a shot. But you was in a position where the Bucs were kind of controlling, their destiny, and you had to play the win in, lose out type of game where this team got to win, this team got to lose, and this team got to win. It's kind of upsetting to see that. But Chris, do you feel like around that time of the year when they drafted Michael Penix that they thought about late in the season if Kurt does have a problem with his Achilles, or if he does have a problem with, his throwing shoulder or his throwing arm? That's why they brought in Penix. Do you see that being an option?
To be honest with you, I think Arthur Blank seen Michael Penix and said, "I want him."
Okay.
just to be honest, I think it went just like that. And because honestly, I do believe we were going defense. I don't necessarily believe that when they made that move with Kirk Cousins, they actually felt comfortable with that move. But after seeing Michael Penix and what he could do close up, it was a pivot. It was a complete pivot. And I'm glad that the pivot happened. But, I don't believe that we was going to go straight quarterback. I think they was actually thought they was secure with Kirk just off of past experiences. And they like, oh, he'll be able to come back and he'll be able to do this. And they probably was going to go stick with maybe like Taylor Heineke as the backup or something like that. And we just roll cheap wise, and I really feel like we were going to go defense and things are going to go in a different direction. When Arthur Blank got on that jet and said, hold on, let me see what he got going on. And when he seen what Michael Penix can offer in that private workout, he was sold. And my thing is, you see in these last 3 games, and my thing is too, they were pressure games too. They were, nice way to work to start off with the Giants, but just think about the situations we asked our rookie to be in. That was definitely a playoff atmosphere in Washington. Jack, you were there. That was definitely a playoff atmosphere.
Not in Washington, but I know those playoff atmosphere games too as well. It's like,
yeah. You mean you were there? You were there in spirit.
People that know how Washington's playing, that was a playoff atmosphere game, definitely.
Right. And then you have the Panthers game was another high stakes game, and you had to go shot for shot with Bryce Young, out of all people. But still, you had to go shot for shot with them, and you still in every game we had an opportunity to win when he was under center. And those are pressure situations, and he was able to handle them like a champ, if you ask me. So I'm just saying, man.
He did play well. I'll give you that. I mean, let me tell you something.
Yes, he could have did better. Yes, he could have did better. But my thing is, if we had more time with the offense, then he would have been able to.
No, I'll give you that, and I'll go when it mattered. He got it done, and that's a very important characteristics, right? Like if you're nervous in the first quarter or you're off in the first quarter, that's one thing. But when it matters, when it's fourth and gotta have it, when it's fourth and we lose, we go home. He threw a strike to Kyle Pitts. No ambiguity. Nobody else was getting it. Last week when it was whatever and it mattered because we need this to tie the game, he threw a strike to Drake London. So I agree with you there, Chris. He definitely has poise in big moments, and they don't seem to phase him. So, you could argue you could have debuted him in the Minnesota game. Let me tell you something. I would have yanked Kirk Cousins the third interception of that Cowboys game. Not Cowboys.
Chargers game. Oh, yeah.
I would have yanked him. That third, I would have been like, hey, buddy, we're going to sit you down. Yeah, appreciate it. We appreciate what you did, and we're gonna let the young fella take over.
Ain't no way. I wouldn't see, and that's why I'm not a coach, because I don't have that type of patience. They would have had me see. I would have embarrassed the organization because they would have had me on the sidelines cussing this man slap out, and I'd have been like, "You heard me slap out," and I just don't need to be in that type of situation. I don't want people to see me in that, so in that light, or nothing like that. So. No, seriously, I don't want to do that.
I'm not laughing at you, Chris. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Kerry. I'm laughing at Kerry being messy. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm not
laughing. Hey, man, I told y'all, Kerry been on a heater since 4:00 on Sunday.
I'm telling you. I mean, I try to be good vibes. I try to be a happy person.
I told y'all.
Falcons, how they ended
oh my god!
Oh wow!
How the Falcons ended the season, man. They've brought in something out of me. It's like a fire within that just.
It's 2025, Kerry. I tell you right now, it's savage, Kerry.
So no more of this, Mrs. Nice Girl. This is like, I'm tired of this.
That. Hey,
Kerry said I want better, man. Ain't nothing wrong with wanting better.
Sorry, no, but
Chris,
I'm just talking
about that.
I've seen Ritter's name in the chat like 10 times. I'm like,
wasn't
that last year? Why are we talking about Ritter?
Hey, Jack, I think Kerry.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
I think she deserves
Falcon
fans,
for that, hit that like, share, subscribe button. The Kerry doesn't get a whistle for that. I mean, that we're moving the chains. We're moving the chains.
We got Michael Penix Jr. now.
Hey, right now.
Hey, man.
The whole team moved the field, man.
The first 9 we had, I said it was cool, but it didn't get the job done. We had to get a new 9.
Jack is stirring it up, buddy.
Hey, look,
stirring it up.
Talk about the future, Chris.
He will.
Yeah.
I have a question.
What's up?
I know that ain't all you.
What you talking about?
I just know that's not your per se.
You talking about this?
Ain't number simply lemonade.
That's fruit punch, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I know that's not all you. That's your personal.
That's the person. That's definitely the personal. He holding in his hand like that. That's a personal.
That's crazy work right there, brother.
I mean, it's been here like for a day or two. I'm just saying.
Chris said that's crazy work right there, brother.
I'm just saying it's been here for like a day or two, man. I am not drinking the whole thing right now. Oh, Chris has been. You know what, Chris? Okay, all right. I'm gonna leave you alone.
You got some
hey,
cool
man, I'm just helping out my man Ladarius Brown, man. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Ladarius, you know what I'm saying? Like shot me some, you know what I'm saying? A little bit, you know, give you a little hard time. That's all, man.
Oh, so you're playing the role of Ladarius today. I get
it.
Hey,
man.
I get it. Okay, that makes sense, Chris. That makes sense, buddy. I'm sorry.
Christy said, is he putting it back in the fridge?
Oh my God, really? Bro, I mean, I only had like a cup or two, maybe. But it's not even, bro. It's fruit punch. It's nothing alcoholic.
Yeah, Terry don't drink no more.
I can't really drink. I had 2 heart attacks. I can't drink anymore. I got to be good. You know what I mean? Okay. I will sip a little wine every now and then. But I don't drink like I used to. So
can we know the flavor? Can we know the flavor
of what? The wine or
Simply? This? Wait, that's wine? I thought that was
Simply.
No.
This is Simply. This is Simply.
Okay.
This is wine.
Are you sure that's not wine in
No,
Simply?
it's not. No, this is Simply. Okay. So this is fruit punch. This is fruit punch. That's it. Yeah.
Terry will sip the fruit punch on the screen. When you see him dip off the camera like this, that's when he's sipping the wine.
You guys just pissed off my brother. You see Eric? Now, hey, when we get off this show, Eric is gonna call me and cuss me out. You see Eric's emojis? Y'all just pissed him off. Jeez.
Well, the fruit punch?
No, probably mad at the wine. But I don't like. It's just a sip. I don't have like that much. I don't do that. It's not simply wine, Christy. I promise. It's fruit punch. It is fruit punch. I don't know why you guys think it's wine. It's not. It's fruit punch. Anyway. Oh my goodness. How do we
big shout out to all the Falcons fans in the chat? Michael's in the chat. Mark Cheney's in the chat. Keith Sweat's in the chat. Mateo's here. Eric Parker's here. Kenneth is in the chat. Christy Lewis is in the chat. Ladarius, Jay Black, Jamal Hill, Jabri Harper, and so many more. Robert Blackman is here in the chat too as well. Big shout out to Robert Blackman, talking Falcons football with us. You did mention something, A1. You mentioned something about Penix getting more time to work with these guys. And he's going to have enough time to work with these guys in the offseason because next season we have to be prepared, Chris. Because our schedule ain't no cakewalk next year, right? We got a couple teams on here that means business, as you can see on the screen. Falcon fans, the 2025 future opponents for the Atlanta Falcons are set. This is not the schedule release date like you're looking for the times and the dates that's going to be released in May. This is who we are playing for the future opponents next year. Of course, you know we got Carolina ass. They sorry ass. They still here as an NFL team. Don't know why, but then you saw at the end of the season why they're an NFL team. Carolina's still here. We also have the New Orleans Saints at home. We have the Tampa Bay Bucks at home, our division rivals. And this is probably the last time that they're going to win the division because the Falcons should be able to take that shit next year. We have the Rams flying in from LA. We have Seattle coming back to the Bends. We saw Seattle this year, so that's a team you have to be prepared for. You also have Bills Mafia showing up at the Bends. So Falcon fans, hopefully
we'll have to show up on that game for real.
You got to show up there because Bills Mafia is definitely going to be.
They're going to be there.
Like 5 bars here, right? They're thick here. They're deep.
They travel very well. I know a couple fans as a part of Bills Mafia, but they have different groups too as well. That's in different fan clubs. But Bills Mafia is like their overall like biggest club. But they're going to be down here for this. Miami Dolphins too as well. Don't know if they're going to have Tyreek Hill. Might have him. Never know. Washington Commanders will also be back in the Bend, so Jaden Daniels gets a chance to come play in Atlanta. The away games. Big shout out to the Rise Up Tour fan club. You know we hitting the road next year.
Hitting the
For
road.
me, I got some stadiums that I can't wait to get to, man. New England, that's on my list too as well. New York, San Francisco, and Indianapolis is on my list. So I can get 4 stadiums on my list next year. But Arizona, the Falcons will be playing on the road. Carolina, New England, the New Orleans Saints, of course, the New York Jets too as well. Hopefully that's not one of those winter games because they usually like putting one of these dome teams outside for the winter. San Francisco too as well. Tampa Bay, Minnesota. We have to head back. That's gonna be a tough game. And Indianapolis. So 2025 future opponents is out. Kerry, you see some of the teams. Falcons have to be prepared. Of course, we have a long off season ahead before the Falcons get a chance to play these games. But just looking at some of these opponents, what you think about 2025, Kerry?
I'm excited. Obviously, we ended the season not on the best note, but with promise. We got our quarterback of the future. I'm really excited to see more of that. I'm excited to see our QB1 have a full off season, with our wide receiver 1, tight end 1, running back, and the whole 9, the offensive line. I'm just excited for him to get a full chance to prepare for a season. I feel like he was thrown into the fire, with his back against the wall and like, hey, can you help us try to make the playoffs? He just really didn't have much time to prepare. I think he got thrown into his first game with just a few days of practice with the ones. He didn't really have much of that. So I'm really excited for the future, but I will say at the same time, really this off season is going to be big. We have to make some moves. Offense, I'm very happy with. We got a top 10 offense this past season, despite, quarterback play being up and down. We still had a top 10 unit. And my thing is the off season is going to be very telling as far as if there's changes at coordinator position. If there's not, then, how we do in the draft with only 4 to 5 picks, most likely trading back like Terry alluded to at the presser yesterday. What we do with Kirk, is he going to be a backup as they proclaim? Me personally, I think he might get cut before we owe him that $10 million bonus, or maybe he'll get traded. But I'm really interested to see what we do with Kirk, and I'm interested to see the moves we make on defense. Clearly, the defense and special teams need some work. So I would like to see complementary football, how we talked about it all season, Jack and T. Will. Like, we want a complete game. I think we got that a few times. I think we did get that a few times, like the Giants game, but we didn't get it consistently. And so I would really like to see that next season. But I do think moves need to be made on the defensive side of the ball to get us to where they can be consistent as well.
That's true. Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit the subscribe button. A1 T Will getting ready to start wrapping up the show here, but I wanted to get your take on this. Jay Black just mentioned a comment here in the chat. Want to pull it up here. Here it is. That's a good schedule for a rookie quarterback, right? If you're going for next season. You have Carolina, who has Bryce Young possibly coming back. So remember we talked about it the other day, Jaden Daniels, Bryce Young, even, of course, Pat Mahomes, what he's winning. I mean, he's, years into the league. But there's a lot of new quarterbacks coming out from the draft, but some of these younger quarterbacks are going to be leading the way for the NFL. So you have to battle against Bryce Young if he's going to be with Carolina for the next 4 or 5 years. Who knows? But the way he's playing in Carolina, chances are he will be back next year. So we're looking at the Michael Penix, Bryce Young battle 2 times a year. Kyler Murray, who's still one of the young quarterbacks in the league. So Michael Penix going up against Kyler Murray. And, of course, New Orleans, they're probably going to be looking for a quarterback because Derek Carr has just mentioned he's not taking no pay. You pay me $100 million next year or I'm out the door. And you see with Spencer Rattler, I think that might be a Desmond Ridder project with Spencer Rattler because they seem to not want to that is not the future in New Orleans. As I think Saints fans can call that too as well. For Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield, he's been in the league a long time. He's won the division, so that's going to be a good battle for Michael Penix, knowing that he was on the sideline as Kurt was handling business against the Bucs. But next year, we're talking about Michael Penix versus Baker Mayfield. The New England Patriots, who could have Drake May out there. We don't know if they could go get a quarterback this draft and run with the new head coach thing they got going on. And that is a good look for Michael Penix to go up to New England and play up against probably a rookie quarterback next year, right? It's not going to be that guy that we're not going to talk about him. We don't want to mention his name. But we do think that the Patriots will probably pull some stupid stunt that day by bringing him back to do some type of Ring of Honor ceremony. Because you know how the Patriots are not a good team right now. So they're going to try to do things with their live event department and their game day staff to try to wow the fan base. And of course, when Atlanta comes to town, what's a big game for New England where they can just throw shade on the Falcons? Of course, that game that they played down in Houston years ago. The Rams too as well, with Matthew Stafford going like he's getting ready to go to the end of his career. Are they going to draft a guy? Is it going to be Stafford? So Penix versus Stafford next year, we'll call that one. Of course, the Saints, we already mentioned that. We don't even know what they're doing. The Jets, this might be a tough decision because you have Jordan Travis on the Jets roster, who my Jets friend told me that he would love for Jordan Travis to take over. But Aaron Rodgers is there now. Will they draft the guy? They are sitting at, I think, 7 or 8 in the draft. So it's possible
they better give Jordan Travis a try.
Cam Ward and some other people that's been mentioned too as well. We don't know what the Jets are going to do. Geno Smith versus Penix. Penix was on the sideline earlier when Kurt was playing against the Seahawks. We caught the L this year. That's going to be a good game too as well because Geno Smith, I think he gets hit over 4,000 yards throwing this year. A guy who's been around the league a couple times and now he's found his home in Seattle. The biggest game for Michael Penix next year is playing these guys at home because even without Buffalo having a Super Bowl win right now, Buffalo is a damn good team. And they show up every Sunday and they do put points on the board. They can go touchdown for touchdown with you. If for some reason, ever since draft night, where Bills fans got mad about drafting Josh Allen, that has all quickly changed. They're damn near building a stadium for Josh Allen right now. That's going to be ready next year. So that's a big game for Michael Penix. The 49ers, Penix versus Purdy next year, or is it going to be Penix versus another quarterback? Carrie, I mean,
I'm not
I don't think it's going to be Purdy next year.
You don't? Well, to be honest, I'm not really sure, but I'm really looking forward to that rematch of Commanders versus Falcons.
That's going to be big in our house.
Now you're talking.
Yes, I'm excited for those two quarterbacks.
Shoot, Minnesota too, though.
Also, the Minnesota game because of Sam Darnold, how he's going to be there. Justin Jefferson, you're going back to Minnesota, but with Penix this time. The Colts game, is it going to be Flacco the way that he's been playing in Indianapolis? They might even give him another shot, but I do think the Anthony Richardson project is over in Indianapolis.
Really?
I don't care how much treatment you're going to give this guy. I don't see the future there at quarterback with Anthony Richardson for Indianapolis. It's been going down since the Phillip Rivers situation where the Colts have been building around that quarterback room and they just haven't got the right guy to lead the way. I think people would mention, it's been going on since the Andrew Luck situation.
Yeah, I would say that.
But even at the Rivers, like you went to go get a veteran guy, then from Rivers, you went to get Matt Ryan, and from Matt Ryan, that you went to get Anthony Richardson, and he hasn't been healthy. You ended the season with Joe Flacco, and it's like, is Anthony Richardson coming back? Because, I mean, there is Colts fans that's writing him off right now. I'm not a Colts fan, so I don't care. But Michael Penix, looking at his matchup next year, is it Anthony Richardson? Is it going to be a backup? Are they going to draft the guy? We don't know. But that Dolphins game, is it going to be Tua? Tua has been in concussion protocol a few times where we can't look at his injury report and say next year they're playing him at week 13, week 14. Will it be Tua playing that game? Also looking at the Dolphins situation at quarterback, with their backups haven't been that decent too as well. So they might even go look into a market to go get a backup if Tua suffers another injury. So Michael Penix, I mean, we definitely want him healthy. We want the Falcons, 53 healthy for next season. But looking at the backup quarterback for us, let's just say Penix goes down. I think that's why I think that's why they mentioned Kirk Cousins as a backup here, to be a very expensive backup.
So?
But if he gets
the
into
most
the game,
expensive backup in NFL history.
I honestly, that's not the way I see it personally. I think they say that because from a logistics standpoint and the financial standpoint, everyone anywhere expects the Falcons to come up off that contract with Kirk. So I think what they're trying to do is instead of trying to just, make people believe that, oh, we'll grab them after, you can grab them once we release them. They're trying to make it seem as if, oh, we're going to keep him. He's going to be a backup. He's a stand-up guy. He'll be happy to be a backup here in Atlanta. And because did you notice how Terry said that we were happy to keep him as a backup, but then someone followed up with the question, is he happy to be a backup?
And I mentioned that in the chat. But does Kirk want to sit there and look at the league and say,
that's
I'm a
one
backup
thing.
So for me, I think what they're trying to do, I think they're playing it smart. They're trying to play it as if, we're going to keep him regardless so that they can get a trade partner. You gotta try to get something. We need draft picks.
Take two to tango.
Now here's the thing, because you said you need a trade partner. If you go back and look, remember the Lamar Jackson situation here in Atlanta, where fans were saying, "Oh, they're just blowing smoke."
Do we have to?
No,
if
please.
fans can see certain things, I would expect that GMs and owners of NFL teams can see certain things too as well. Some team is going to sit there and say, "Oh, the Falcons are blowing smoke on Kirk Cousins right now."
And they already are, actually. Like, the national media is already saying that we're just doing that for the reason I stated. So
because some team's going to say they don't want to keep Kirk in the QB room for $40 million. But then again,
I'll tell you what's working for him. I'll tell you what's working for him. Nobody thought they'd draft Penix, right? So the Falcons will go against conventional thinking.
I like that about the Falcons, because what you expect is not what you're going to get. So I like that NFL teams might say, yeah, they're going to get Dallas Turner. This is our time. Michael Penix. Who the hell talking about?
Right.
I like how the Falcons do things behind the scenes and they don't let things get out. Because, I can hit some sources and try to get some information. Nothing comes out about it. Somebody slipped down the stairs at Flowery Branch.
Nobody,
no information.
Nobody knows.
That's the mark of a great organization. But I bring it up to say that maybe not all GMs, but some GMs will think to themselves, well, nobody thought they'd draft Penix, so maybe they will keep him. Maybe they will keep, because again, to Kerry's point, what you're trying to do is build value, right? Because if you're just going to release him, nobody's going to trade for him anyway. And even if you do, you're going to get like a box of Gatorade and some socks, and there you go.
What?
No.
And it's the Arctic cherry flavor too.
Kenneth, let it go, bro. Kenneth, let it go. Let it go, bro. Let it go. Seriously, you sound like a drunk dialing somebody. Kenneth, let it go, bro. Let it go. Ritter's gone, bro.
Wait,
let it go. Because Ritter outperformed both Cousins and Penix combined, do the research. Bro, you sound like a conspiracy theorist. You sound like one of those dudes who's like, you know what? Tinfoil is bad for your teeth and don't drink. Bro, you sound like a truther.
One time for the fan, hit that like, share, subscribe.
You sound bad out here.
Let's
bro,
move on from the Beige Bandit.
Real quick,
I just want to say, if you don't get help in Carter, get help somewhere, bro. You need to talk to somebody for real.
I mean this in the
most
Kiki, you in the chat?
Unhealthy. Stop it, man. Ritter's been gone 2 years. Okay?
Right.
He gave you your albums back. You don't need to go over to his place for some damn socks. Okay? He's moved on. You should too. Damn.
What's bugging T-Will?
Bro, because
Wednesdays, Fridays, on one time.
Give me a sec, Jack. Give me a sec.
Terry, take a swig of the wine, not the Simply Lemonade.
Bro.
You don't need the wine.
Come on. Ritter has been gone.
Terry's going live after this live. I have a feeling he's going live after this live.
Beer
Gang's on standby. Beer Gang, get on standby.
What are you doing, man? Go back to that comment, Jack. Pull that comment back up.
So I will say a big shout out to Kenneth for being here in the chat. Kenneth has been here since last year during the Taylor Heineke Ritter situation. I think he was around during the Mariota time when we was talking, like when we first started up at one time. So big shout out to Kenneth in the chat.
Bro,
all Falcons fans here. We love talking Falcons football with everybody.
We do.
But we ain't talking about no goddamn Desmond Ritter no more.
Within reason. Because Ritter outperformed both Cousins and Penny. Did Ritter go 6-3, Kenneth? Did Ritter throw for 500 yards? Ritter hadn't thrown for 500 yards in 6 games.
Respectfully, I don't think he played.
Multiple.
No, you said
another 3. Come on, man. Let it go, bro.
To your point, he did not even play 9 games, so I don't know. He could not have gone 6-3. That guy's a backup.
Bro, you sound like a drunk ex right now, bro. You really do. Let it go, bro. Ritter has moved on. Okay? He took his albums. He took his shirt. He took that one little towel that he cleaned the towel. He ain't coming back, bro. All right? You need to move on or find another hobby, but let it go, bro.
Wait, Christy Lewis is saying this is like whoever goes live next is gonna be in your chat next, doing that same thing too.
Hey man, he won't be in my chat. I'm telling you.
So all fans have their opinion about the team, and of course, Raheem and Terry Fontenot. Of course, One Time for the Fan is an open platform to talk Falcons football. We want everybody just to have a good time, put on your Falcon hat, your Falcon shirt, whatever, and just talk Falcons football with us. Because if the team was winning right now, we would be talking about the playoffs tomorrow or Sunday. I think we'll be talking about us playing the Commanders at home, and that's the feeling that we wanted. I'm sorry, that's not the feeling that we got this year, but at One Time for the Fan, from the fan for the fan, we're going to make sure that we all understand that we are all fans of the Atlanta Falcons. We all want to win at the end of the day, because if this team, and Crimson's gonna say who's Ritter, Jesus Christ. If this team was winning and going to Jesus Christ, Crimson.
That's the X you forget about. I'm sorry. Why are we still talking about Ritter in 2025?
Let it go.
Are you a fan of Ritter or are you a fan of the Atlanta Falcons? Because he's old news. I'm sorry. We got a guy named Michael Penix Jr. This is old news. That's the X that nobody wants to talk about. We blocked him on everything. Goodbye.
Hey, if that is Desmond in the chat, hey, Desmond, hey, man, look. Hit you with them short hands.
I don't know, Desmond.
We don't diss and bash players on the team.
No, if it really is Desmond, can you please get me a signed Mad Max jersey when you get a chance?
Oh wow! Oh, what does Uncle Steve say? I love Desmond Ritter. I love Desmond.
So,
oh my God!
Here's the thing,
wow.
Falcon fans.
I'm gonna go a different route. You know what, Desmond? I'm glad you're not on the Falcons anymore. But you want to know? I still have to thank you, because if you hadn't gave us that scare at the end of that Raiders game, it might have still been Kirk Cousins.
I mean.
Oh wow!
Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. James is in the chat. Mark Chaney's in the chat. Kenneth's in the chat. Keith No Sweat. We shout to Keith No Sweat in the chat too as well. Michael's in the chat talking Falcons football with us. Hey y'all, One Time for the Fan, from the fan for the fan. Let's go ahead and start wrapping this show up. When was that 2-hour mark? I think y'all are just amazing. This is what the offseason is about. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna tell some stories. We're gonna talk about the Falcons, past, present, and future. But we're gonna do this together, y'all. I thought it said Ricky Smiley for a minute. It's Ricky Smith in the chat. He said, "What's
it look like Ricky Smiley?"
Checking y'all out on the big screen today. Big shout out to Ricky Smith in the chat.
You got shit.
I was about to say, how's the kids, man? Big shout out to Ricky Smith in the chat.
Today.
Smiley's going through a lot right now, so you know what's going on in his world. Mark Chaney, Keith No Sweat. Yo, continue being a Falcons fan. Continue rocking with this organization and this team. At the end of the day, as you can see, we got. We ain't got no championships. We got some fire-ass merch, though. Them color schemes that the Falcons keep putting out. You know, that's crazy. We're going to keep rocking that red, black, white, man. I love that shit. It goes good with your Jordans, too, as well. If you're going to the game, man, you getting all styled up and shit. But at the end of the day, man, we want to see this team win, right? We were told some things in the offseason, and it got everybody excited. Got the expectations up here. Around midpoint of the season, it was looking like, hey, we're going to reach that goal. And then you seen the downfall start to hit too as well. So very disappointed. I think disappointed would be the word of the season for 2024. But the good thing about being a fan of sports is there's another day, right? And of course, with the Atlanta Falcons getting their future opponents for next year, I hope Penix is motivated. I hope Drake is motivated for them to walk off the field the other day and Penix walk over to Drake and say, "Hey man, we got this shit. Like we got this shit clicking." Drake is your star future receiver here in Atlanta for years to come. And if Penix is your future quarterback for years to come, those two guys, the way they've been working the past 3 games, I want to see more of that. And I'm going to throw a goddamn curveball out here. If Pitts gets in rhythm the way they want Pitts to do it, it's going to be a nasty combo with Penix throwing the ball to Pitts. I think we've seen Penix already, from his accuracy to the zip he can get on that ball to getting Mooney in space and Ray with some back shoulder throws and Drake with some good passes. Just imagine if he gets Pitts in rhythm. Hell, that touchdown in Washington was a dot to Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope
on
you
fourth
get more
down.
of that on fourth down. Let's hope you get more of that next year, because it will be the Colts talking about the Falcons offense and worrying about that game next year in their schedule. I think there's some fans of some teams next year. There's probably some Jets fans saying, "Damn, Atlanta's gonna come in here and kick our ass next year if we don't get our shit together." So they're gonna mark that as an X. They're gonna mark that as an L, right? I think you can look at even Tampa Bay getting swept, them winning the division, saying that all it is make a quarterback switch and they brought us some new guys, but Atlanta kicked our ass last year. So you gotta look at Tampa Bay even looking at that schedule like, man, that's gonna be a tough game. Who else? Buffalo. You want to scare teams like that. You got to go in there and beat up those AFC teams, because you've had problems with AFC teams in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just look at the future opponents. I'm excited about next year. We're going to continue talking about the future opponents. We're going to have breakdowns. We're going to have special guests. We're going to have just people just in here talking Falcons football. That's what it's all about. And just being a diehard Falcon fan at the end of the day. Met a Falcon fan the other day at the stadium. Had a Falcon tattoo here. Of course, he had his Falcon shirt, hat, pants, everything. But he had a Falcon tattoo here. He had the old throwback Falcon logo right here. And, of course, right here, he was like, "Man, you see another one?" He had a big ATL going across his chest. I was like, bro, god damn. Like, just there's some diehard fans in this city. Like, I keep telling y'all, when we win that Super Bowl, that parade's going to be stupid. It's gonna be stupid, man. We might have to have like 2 or 3 parades just to get everybody in. Like, you might have a parade on all parts of the city. Like, you might have to have a parade on the east side in Decatur somewhere. You might have to have a parade somewhere on the west side. You might have to have a parade somewhere on the south side. Like, Atlanta will Atlanta if we win the Super Bowl. It's gonna look like, well, shit, like damn near freak day times 10. When Atlanta wins the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? This city deserves it. Braves are getting back soon. A1. Terry, I know you all excited about that. Hawks are in rhythm. I know they lost to the Suns last night, but the Hawks are in rhythm. I think we have a team that is decent enough to make the playoffs there. Atlanta United starts back up in a month. Dogs will be back on the field for spring training in about 3-4 months. Carson Beck, I believe he chose Miami. Is that what I heard?
I did not hear that. Okay.
Yeah. He going to Miami.
I know his girlfriend goes to Miami, so I'm guessing that's where he would go. Cam Ward's going to the NFL. So, Falcon fans, I mean, it's going to be a long offseason, but Mark Chaney, Mateo, Ricky Smith, Kenneth, Keith No Sweat, Lisa Shepard, everybody in the chat, man, rock with us here at One Time for the Fan. There's other content creators too as well. You guys need to be listening to as well on, you know, your off season, you know, schedule. T-Will for my ATL Sports is growing his channel, is doing a great job with a great group of Falcon fans over there. A1 Chris, as you can see, joined us this morning. I don't know what the bill is for today, Chris, but I appreciate it. You know, you did a good job changing the tiles out in the kitchen. But you know, we're gonna make sure we get you situated, A1.
Wait,
not the towels in the kitchen.
Bodie?
Huh?
I thought that was Bodie, not Chris.
Oh yeah, we're throwing Chris into the mix now too as well. So yeah, Chris.
I'm about to say no, dog. Only thing I'm doing with them towels is wiping my hands with them, my dog.
No, the tiles in the kitchen.
Oh, the tiles in the
On the
kitchen.
floor.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. You definitely gonna have to call Big Low for that. Yeah, that's kind of like low thing,
Hey, it's going down, man. Big shout out to everybody. But Chris, man, to everybody where we can find you at on social media, man. Once again, like you talk Falcons football, you talk Braves, you talk Hawks, man. Apparently, they just got the area approved in Forsyth County to build this hockey stadium. So we might be in hockey here
Okay. All
in
right.
LA. But A1, tell everybody where they can find you. I appreciate you stopping by at one time for the fan. Let's get some shout outs in, man, before we wrap up this show, Chris.
Hey, man, I just want to thank y'all for having me on, man. Want me to come around and talk some Falcons football on a snowy Friday in Atlanta. I'm not sure how everybody else's, weather is doing wherever you're watching this, whatever state you're watching it from. But yeah, man, it's snowing in Atlanta, a rare Friday. But hey, I'm happy to be here, man, with, saying one time for the fan, Kerry, Jack, T Will. Me and T Will also did a show this morning with Debo Vibes. And you got to check that out because we had a special guest of Raheem Morris and D-Led. But oh man, Debo crazy, man. That's all I gotta say. Debo crazy, baby.
He's something, man. He is.
Yeah, but man, y'all check that out as well, man. But please, man, by all means, YouTube A1 Forever Sports, also Twitter A1 Forever, Instagram A1 Forever, and the real A1 Forever on TikTok, man. Make sure y'all find y'all peace on this snowy Saturday, man. Netflix and chill or whatever, all that stuff that y'all kids like to do, Jack, why you looking like that, man? What's up, man?
Nah, man, I'm just looking at this, trying to find this Falcon information. I'm getting ready to say something, but it's not pulling up here. But yeah, we good, man. We good. Big shout out to Out of Your Falcon Mind.
Yeah.
Yes, the bro.
Yeah.
Had an opportunity to chat with these guys the other night. They had an amazing show. And these guys have been in the content creator community for a while. They've done some great things too as well, on and off air. But big shout out to Out of Your Falcon Mind. They called it the farewell show. Hopefully it's not the farewell show. Because in this content creator space, I think it's pretty cool just to having a platform just to talk with the fans, and of course, with the Rise Up Tour fan club, like everybody's super excited to just be a fan of the Atlanta Falcons, and then we get out there to the game on Sunday, and then you see what they do on the field, and now we're in a position we're not making the playoffs, but at the end of the day, we're still fans, and we enjoy this. And I'm sure John and Mike enjoyed doing the podcast every time they turned the mics on and sent invites out to special guests, and it was just a great opportunity to take some time out of our schedule Wednesday to come talk with John and Mike. They had a lot of special guests on. It was damn near, it was like the damn DMV trying to get into the damn waiting room to go join the show.
I felt like we were like outside the club, literally waiting to get
like in. Literally standing like, bro, I pay for the VIP and I can't even get in the club. Like, what's going on here?
Can't even get in.
Can't even get in, bro.
Nah, for real. If it is, I mean, hopefully it's not. But even if it is, they got sent off well because they had a lot of different guests. Even Aaron Freeman from Locked On Falcons popped up and everything. It's just a lot of us, man. A lot of us, a lot of fellowship.
Chop it up with Aaron, first time ever talking to Aaron too as well. And of course with John and Mike, hosting the show, they do a great job with their content. So big shout out to Aaron, big shout out to I think the Bolt podcasters from the Charger fan base. Carrie, is it the Bolt?
Yes, the Bolt Bros.
Yeah, the Bolt
Bros.
I actually really, they're brothers that are from San Diego. I think they're from El Cajon to be exact. They're really cool. I follow them.
Down south.
Every once in a while I'll pop in and watch one of their shows. If nothing else is on, I'm caught up on all the Falcons content, but they're a good show if you want to watch, maybe if the Falcons are playing the Chargers, or even if not, they were doing a watch party the other night just for the playoff. Cincinnati versus was it Cincinnati? I'm sorry, Broncos versus Chiefs. That's the game they were doing a watch party for. So they do non-Chargers stuff too, but really cool group of brothers, really cool guys.
Yeah, big shout out to the Boat Bros. El Cajon too as well. I used to live in San Diego. El Cajon, that's a rough area out there in California. You know,
I
in
did
San
not know
Diego.
that about you. I lived in Serra Mesa. I lived in like
Serra Mesa. Yeah.
I lived
Hey,
in San
El
Diego
Cajon
4
down
years.
south. You know, you gotta watch your ass around there. Gotta watch what you wearing around there in El Cajon. But yeah, that's you know, it was great to talk with out of your fucking mind. The Boat Bros said something that kind of hurt my feelings.
But don't mention it, Jack, because I already
Bro,
knew you were gonna do it.
Bro,
Don't do it.
Bro, I just felt so bad, bro. Bro, they said they had to get off. They had to get off out of your Falcon Minds podcast to go prepare for their playoff podcast. Oh my god. Bro, I was like, y'all cutting this short? Like y'all leaving?
Oh, did it hurt, Jack? Did that hurt?
Bro,
Did that
to
hit
hear
you
the words,
in
just to hear them say, everybody took a deep sigh on the damn channel too. Like, oh my god, you had this. As soon as they said that, it was like
it just sank in.
Just took the air right out the damn podcast.
Damn.
I couldn't believe it.
I think we'll be back next year, man. I really do. I gotta
have to be back next year.
I think we'll be back next year. Look,
it's another year, bro.
This offense, and it's only going to get better. This offense, this team really reminds me of 2016. Not only just in the records, 8-8, 8-9, but this offense with the weapons that we have. Look, Penix can spin it, man. Even if you look at this past game, the throw he made to Kadero Hodge went through 3 people who couldn't get it because of the velocity. The in route he threw to Drake, nobody even saw it. The cornerbacks are still on the field right now. Like, where the hell is it? Right? That throw that he made towards the end of the half to Ray on the run was like 30 yards, right? So you got a litany of weapons who've never had a quarterback like this before. They are salivating. They would have to be. You got Drake, who had Matt Ryan, a little bit of Kirk Cousins, and that's it. You got Mooney. You got Bijan, who, in my opinion, should be in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Should be starting.
I mean, Pro Bowl is, you know, it's.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. He's great. You got Algier, and if you can get Kyle Pitts going, or even if you can't, you still have an assortment of weapons. This offense will be good enough to win a Super Bowl. We just have to modify the defense. We don't even have to get a top 10 defense. If you can get me top 15 or 20, we are in the playoffs and we're making a deep run. So I don't feel bad about it. Look, after we lost the Washington game, it was over for me because I knew Tampa Bay wasn't going to lose to the Aints. It was over. Done deal.
Yeah.
So, you know, the future is bright for us. We have a great quarterback who, as far as I'm concerned, has the best arm in the league right now. I dare you to give me somebody with the better arm. Josh Allen is okay, but I'm talking about velocity and throwing it on a line. You give me that, I'm talking about breaking fingers.
Well, apparently it might be Shadir Sanders.
Hey, man, I'm just saying.
Get that Rolly. Hey, when you got your Rolly?
Rolly with
a bust down AP.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's going down in a major way, man. Darius said I can't accept anything. He can't accept Terry getting to any VIP service stuff.
I love the banter between T. Will and Ladarius.
I cannot accept it.
Ladarius being in line like, how he a VIP?
Hey, that guy. Something ain't right. I want to speak to the manager now.
He doesn't quit.
Kenneth said, identifying mistakes is an honest point, but please go ahead and bash me, make you feel better. Kenneth, we diehard Falcon fans. I'm sure you probably talking Falcons football right now, wearing your Falcons hat, shirt, Falcons screensaver on your phone. We all have, I think, an opinion about the Atlanta Falcons. And the good thing about One Time for the Fan is it's from the fan for the fan. So come on back and talk Falcons football with us. Even back then when we were talking Ritter and Heineke, remember last year we were talking about Ritter and Heineke? We had our discussions, we had our debates. We won games, we lost games. and then we're right back in that same position. That's a sorry. What Trey say? What not Trey? Is it B Rich from
Trey
Boy?
from the Water Boy.
Blood pressure birds. What is it?
Blood pressure birds.
The blood pressure birds.
Yeah.
This is what we got right now, man. This is tough, man. Going into this weekend, watching the Commanders and Bucks game, like that should be us. But guess what, man? We got another day. And I'm sure, this organization is going to find some way to get it done. Now, I can be negative and just say, nah, F them and F the team and F the organization. Right. But I got my season tickets to pay in 27 days. So it's kind of difficult, to say F the team and F this and F that, and then go back out there and spend countless amounts of money that I'm about to do on this team once again. But once I get all these stadiums out the way, I'm still going to be that same fan, but I'm probably going to go do the Braves next or do like the Hawks next. That's I don't know. I might do them Hawks, man, because with them Trae Young years you got right here in Atlanta, I mean,
right.
It'd be great going to like different Hawks games in different cities and shit. Like, go, bro, when we went to the Vegas game, the Hawks were playing. We went to the damn Hawks game in Vegas.
Right.
Bro, that was lit.
Right.
Like, you should have seen how many Atlanta fans was at the damn Hawks game in Vegas because the Raiders played Monday. I was out there since Thursday. The fucking Hawks coming on Saturday. Are you serious? I know they lost the game, but bruh, Hawks game in Vegas on some random shit, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I'm telling you,
That's
man.
Cool.
It was a nice weekend for Atlanta fans. Like, period. I mean, I know the Hawks didn't win and whatnot, but shoot, just them even being able to be in that type of game, in that atmosphere, special location, being in Vegas like that, and then the Falcons played that Monday. It was a special weekend for Atlanta. Atlanta fans were out there. Jack, Atlanta fans were there, man.
Chris, you was at the party with us with Young Chalk, Pastor Troy, Rise Up Tour fan club. Big shout out. First, I want to give my goddamn flowers to Chris right here, man. Big shout out to Chris, man. You held it down for that security job at the back door, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. No, this is real talk. This ain't no Bodie. This ain't no Bodie
for real, man. We was back there holding it down, man. Folks were trying to sneak in the club, man. They can't get in.
Chris, you better tell them how packed that goddamn building was for the Rise Up Tour fan club party, and how many. If I would have stepped away from that door, Chris, what was gonna happen, Chris? If me and you would have walked away, what was gonna happen?
People were just gonna be flowing in, man. It was a party, man. People were walking in from the casino trying to get in that way. We were like, nah, you got to go around, man. You got to go around. Got to pay that price, man. You want to come in here, but people were walking around, coming right on into the party.
But for the people
they wanted to be a part of that. That's what the Rise Up Tour does, man.
They were waiting right there for that door to open and hit. Hey, come on, big dog. Hey, come on, big dog. You don't know me, big dog. Hey, big dog.
No, don't know you. Wear your bracelet. Wear your wristband. Wear your wristband.
You see, Chris know the damn procedure too. Wear your wristband.
Man,
Chris is holding the shit down.
Wear your wristband, right?
Chris sound like he back there in the damn club again.
Wear your damn wristband. I'm talking about
what huh?
We be clubbing.
Man, you should have seen the T-Will, man. People coming up to me, man, I'm from Zone 3, man. I am Atlanta, man. Jock, my boy, man. Call Jock. Call him.
Nah, for real. And the crazy thing about it is, it was some people that like we held them up, and then Troy or Jock and everything, they had to come get them. Yep. Or had to send somebody, trusted to come get them.
Yep.
My thing is, man, that was a very exclusive party, man. Anybody just couldn't walk up in that thing, man.
Man. Big shout out to the Rise Up Tour fan club. For those that do not know, memberships are now open. We did a lot of great things this year with the fan club. We're going to do a lot of even better things next year with the Rise Up Tour fan club. This is great. Talking Falcons football with everybody. Our breakfast with One Time for the Fan turned into lunch with One Time for the Fan. And if we keep talking, it's going to turn into dinner.
Right.
One Time for the Fan. T-Will, I think you have a show going on here later. A1, you good? Did he mention Jimmy Lake?
I think he dropped out.
Shit, am I next? I look outside my window real quick. Who mentioned Jimmy Lake?
Oh damn.
Hold on, he mentioned Ritter. That's right. You mentioned Ritter.
There you go. A1, you back? A1, you back?
Yeah, man. Jimmy Lake said you thought she was safe, didn't you?
Jimmy
Lake said A1 thought he was safe. I finally was able to get through. He finally was able to navigate through my through the dark web to find my IP address, and he got me.
There was one night Kerry kept mentioning as soon as Kerry
bro,
mentioned,
she was like on the road or something. It was over with.
He was driving back.
Route her out.
It was a wrap. You
gone.
wasn't finna get.
Yeah.
I was watching that show. That was so funny because she was just like, and then it was like and then it got to the point where I was just like, Jack, y'all just bring her in and let her start talking. Don't say nothing else.
Right,
and then it was just so funny. Every time they'd be like, Carrie, Carrie.
I wonder which game that was after, because it was obviously one where the defense had a bad game. That was so funny.
Yeah,
oh boy, that's
Jimmy got into the wireless provider's service and was able to just cut off Carrie's phone every time. Literally every time. Well, Carrie, how do you? Well, click. All right, now she's back. So Carrie, what do you think? Well, click. I mean, and it happened like 5 or 6 times. It was crazy.
It was big shot to everybody.
At least it made for some laughs because I think everybody was enjoying it.
Yeah, man.
Jamal Hill is in the chat. You can head on over, Jamal.
Nice.
RiseUpTourFanClub.com. All the information is there too as well. Facebook, social media, the Rise Up Tour Fan Club. The cool thing about some of these away games that's coming up next year. Big shout out to Pam Jackson too as well. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. If I didn't get to your comment too as well, I apologize. We'll definitely get to it next podcast. Don't forget, one time for the fan, from the fan, for the fan. The big thing about these away games coming up, we've been to some of these cities before, so we kind of know how to handle, Arizona, Minnesota, of course, Carolina, Tampa Bay, New Orleans. We've already been there before too as well. New England, New York, we're already starting to work on that. And of course, San Francisco, we was there years ago too. So for fans that's traveling to some of these away games, the Rise Up Tour Fan Club is pretty much your one-stop shop to having a good time with a diehard group of fans that travel to damn near every away game. If you travel by yourself, you're going to meet somebody. If you are out there trying to just go to all the stadiums in the NFL, you're going to meet people doing the same thing you're doing. If you're there just to be a diehard fan of the team, you don't care about the record, you're going to meet fans that's in the group the same way. So big shout out to everybody. What's up, Ewan?
No, just saying, yep, that's true.
I mean, big shout out to everybody who's just been a part of the Rise Up Tour Fan Club. Me and Thomas, when we talked about this back in like 2016, 2017, we never expected to be where we are now in 2025. And I just said that we're extremely blessed because a lot of the fan base, really enjoys what we do. On the road, the parties, the events, the meet and greets, the little light mixers that we put on for you all. You guys just are truly amazing. And there's a couple things you guys don't know about the Rise Up Tour Fan Club that, you guys will learn, pretty much probably this year going forward, because we are expanding. We're getting bigger in numbers. And a lot of people just really enjoy what we do. So thank you all, everybody who's been so supportive of the Rise Up Tour Fan Club. Y'all can head on over to the website. We got the memberships up right now. And it's going down in a major way. I will say, if you go over the membership, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you go over the membership price, go to Arizona 2 years ago when we went out there for the Falcons Cardinals game. The room rates at the Marriott Renaissance, which is right next to the hotel, which you've already been in contact with the hotel already now because we're getting ready to fly back out there. General manager is still the same, so of course we've been chopping it up. But the room rates for fans that were flying in or driving in, wherever you're going from, the room rates was $469 a night at the Marriott, which is right here.
Mm-hmm.
Stadium is right here. Literally, just look at your windows, you open up your blinds. There goes
State Farm.
It's right there in front of you. I remember if you were a member of the Rise Up Tour Fan Club, you was getting the room for like $215, $220 a night. So awesome. You can see what we do with the fan club. We do this for Falcon fans. We want to make sure you all get discounts on hotel rooms. Not every single city, because like Vegas this year, we didn't do the host hotel for Vegas. Vegas want us to throw down 15, 20 grand on some rooms. Like, appreciate it.
Right.
Not every city does that.
Right.
Vegas does that. So we didn't do that in Vegas, but we told fans the best hotels to stay. And of course, fans, took that information and they ran with it because we saw fans at the Bellagio. Chris, you was at
I was at the Mandalay Bay.
Mandalay. I was at Paris. So it's all right there on the strip. The strip is like 4.2 something miles. So for the fans that join the Rise Up Tour fan club, you guys are going to see some experiences this year. I think you guys would be overwhelmed with and having a good time with. There are fans that I have met who are in their 50s and 60s, and they're now going to their first away game. They haven't been on the road. They haven't been to New Orleans. The parade is one thing that we did last year that fans are super excited about because we was able to take a fan base and go out to another city, our rivals, and throw a giant parade in the streets of New Orleans. So, and also our heart, thoughts and prayers go out to everybody not only affected in LA, but of course affected in New Orleans over the recent situations too as well. So once again, Falcon fans, one time for the fan. We have a lot going on this year on the air, off the air. We're going to make sure you all are entertained. You guys help us get to 1,000 subscribers together because we go live. Ladarius wants to know, does Terry have a seniors discount for the Rise Up Tour fan club? Sheesh, this what, bruh?
That's tough. And I ain't gonna lie. That's woo. That's good. Said does he? But he might have just gave you an idea though, Jack. You know what I'm saying? Maybe talk to Thomas about that, man. I don't know, maybe give a little senior discount and everything. I don't know.
I might have to talk to Thomas about that and be like, bro, we might have to throw in something like that. I think Ladarius just gave us a little plan.
Saying don't get out, you know what I'm saying? A little something you got taken and run with.
You know, seniors love their discounts, so
yeah, we do.
Look,
we do.
Suggestions work. Some fans hit us up and asked us, would you do the payment plans? Fans for our membership, they asked us, would you do the payment plans next year? We thought about it. And we thought about it. And we thought about it. And we set it up. So maybe Ladarius is on to something. Maybe Terry, I won't be rude, Terry. It's not like I'm trying to throw shot or shade over here.
Well, let me tell you something.
Maybe
hold on one sec. I am proud to be 54.
But then again, you look pretty young. The way you caught that pass at the damn field day that day, you look like you could run a 4.9 at least.
Thank you. Let me pop my collar. Thank you. Because I did catch it. I did.
4.99.
And the degree of difficulty, let me tell you something. I reached that one hand out there, pulled it in like Coach told me to, did the Fred Flintstone twinkle toes, stayed inside.
In jeans.
Touchdown. So in jeans. That's right. So
hot
whatever.
Day too as well.
Look at my brother. Oh, so this is Hate Terry Day. That's what it is, Eric Parker. That's what
your little
it
brother
is.
said.
Okay.
Okay.
Eric. All right,
Eric said, nah, bro.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah, so
Eric,
we ain't going for it.
Whatever.
God, that boy said use promo code T-Will62. They on your head, boy. God.
I do not run a 9-9 with Darius.
Yeah, your head.
I ain't gonna lie, Jamal ain't here. Jamal ain't right.
Brother, use promo code. Just ask to what Ladarius said though. They're comboing you right now, bro. It's like Marvel Rivals.
I don't know what it is. I don't know why my brother's conspiring against me, but whatever.
Said Terry runs a 4.9. Your boy said Terry runs at least a 990.
Hey, let me tell you something. I do not run a 990. I run at least. I don't run a 990. I know that.
Hey, let me tell you something.
You saying you're faster than that, Terry? Or are you saying you're?
Let me tell you something. I ran a 4.3 back in the day. Okay, so I don't care what. Because look, even though my name is Wilson, my Eric and I share the same biological father. So our name essentially is Parker, and all of the Parkers are fast. Okay, let's get that right. Now, Father Time is cruel, right? As we've said, Father Time is cruel, but I don't run a 9.9. You know, I'm at least in the 5s.
Could you beat any one of those players on the 40-yard dash on the Falcons? Could you beat any one of those players right now in the 40?
You said who?
Could you name one player on the Falcons team right now you could beat in a 40?
Maybe one of the offensive linemen. Maybe. I probably could get one of them. Yeah, I could get one of them.
Wait, Eric says more like a fast walk.
Right. I don't know. I said, all right, don't get out there and get.
right,
Jerry, when you get off this podcast, you better send some DMs and make some phone calls.
Don't mess around and get out there in a race with Jake Matthews and get smoked now.
Look, Jake Matthews pull up. You the guy that run the 990, right? Talk to
Yeah. You the 990 guy, right?
They got 990 on the back of the jersey.
What did Kenneth say? Kenneth said something. He said like every year.
Like every year, Big T, 17-0. Come on, man.
That's not me. That's Eric. That's my brother. That's not me. That's Eric. That's on the 17.
There's some fans that don't want to wake up.
What's the issue, though? I don't understand. He's supporting his team, even if he believes that his team's going to go 17-0. We're Falcons fans. I don't know.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, too, Kerry. There's just fans that don't want to wake up and say, we're going to lose today. We're losing this big game today. I'm putting on my jersey to go out to the stadium to lose. I'm going to lose. That Eagles game, I can tell you right now, it was a tough environment walking into Philly. Walking into the Lincoln Financial, I said, oh, shit. Jeff Wolf talking about, man, they going to get you, man. They going to get you. Everybody talking about, where you sitting at? They going to get you. And then we got them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm walking out of there untouched. Fans shaking my hand. Hey, man, nice to meet you. Make sure you go over to Geno's Steaks. What the fuck? I thought y'all want to fight. I came with my gloves. So some fans expect to see that, hey, we're going to lose this game. I'm with Daniel Jeremiah. I'm with Michael Strahan when they go and vote the Bucks to win this or the Commanders to win this. For me, I do look at the Falcons and say it's tough to say as a prediction that we're going to lose this game. I want the Falcons to win every game. But then again, I know that most NFL teams are not going to win every game. But it's tough to sit there and say, hey, we're going to lose this game. That Bengals game a couple years ago, I already knew in my mind, this is a tough fucking game. This is Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase damn near leading the division, getting ready to make their Super Bowl run right here. This is a tough game. But sure enough.
Quick, we got a celebrity in the chat. We got NIL Berto.
NIL Berto. Hey, so Jack, real quick.
Well done, steak.
Look, every year at the beginning of the season. Oh, he did say well. Okay. I'm not. You know what? I'm not even gonna do it. You got me. I'm not gonna do it. No, but every year at the beginning of the year, I think what Kenneth is talking about. So every year at the beginning of the year, just to mess with him, because we're brothers, and as you can see, he likes to mess with me. At the beginning of the year, every year, I'm like, Eric, what's our record gonna be? And without fail, he goes 17-0. No. His exact words are, we're going MFing 17-0 every year. And every year I say,
you don't practice to lose.
But let's be realistic. Nobody goes undefeated, right? So, that's where that comes from. But whatever, I get it. I can see both sides. I'm not trying to entertain a debate. It's just something I do because it works my brother's nerves. And there's
something you do is that you clutching your hamstring when you stretch? That's what you do.
Kerry?
Oh wow. Kerry,
who's going to read the comment, Kerry? Kerry's just in goddamn mode.
Is this Kerry or Edge? Because she's been the ultimate opportunist lately.
Yeah. Jesus. Damn.
Kerry, they just put it out there for me. Look at Eric. God. Look at Eric. Eric's standing on business, 17-0. Thank you.
Bro, I've known Eric for years, bro. Eric just be awesome. Man. Bro, I'm die hard about this shit. Like, that's a die-hard fan right there. I didn't see, bro. I didn't try to beat Eric to training camp so many times, knowing that he lives like 10 minutes from training camp. I'll be like 45 minutes away. And then Eric be like, yeah, I might hit him up like, bro, you at the camp? Yeah, I'm here. I'm like, damn. I be getting in my car like, I'm on the way, bro. Hold my spot. There's about 9 of us up here. God damn, 9 of y'all? The sun ain't even up yet.
I mean,
Ladarius said Kerry is on the side of truth.
I'm just messing with you, but to I'd much rather entertain or be the fan that hopes supports their team and wants them to go 17-0 than the fan that's negative Nancy. But that's me. Okay, life's too short.
I want him to go 17-0, but Kerry, let's be. Okay, it's not realistic. It's not realistic. Come on.
I'm a realist. I mean, I
You
didn't
want your
think we were
team to
going.
win every game, knowing
You
that
do.
there's going to be games
I
we're going
want
to
my
lose.
team to win
I
every
want my
game.
team to win every game, but I projected we were going to go 12-5, and look, they made me look like a fool. So
No, they didn't.
Hey.
No, they didn't, Carrie. No, look,
Hey, we all, I think all of us,
hey, things happen, bro. But
all of
no,
us as
Carrie,
Falcon
you don't look like a
fans
fool. You
are
don't look
now
like a fool.
sitting on the couch watching. Ain't now
are
one
we
Falcon
still getting
fan.
wows, or is that just my end? I keep hearing
You keep hearing wows?
Wow!
like nonstop.
Wow!
I mean, Terry sometimes does. I mean, I got it right here.
Is it just me, or
I
you
was
hear
about to
too?
say, Jack.
I thought Jack was giving me a
Jack, you don't planted a while where Carrie is, man.
literally. As soon as
You got
hears
that
her
wow,
voice,
that
Yeah.
wow button over
The
there.
universal wow.
Jamal Hill's in the chat. See what I'm saying? We're gonna be here till dinner time. He said, "Quick take with our first pick." But this is the good thing. I love talking with Falcon fans, like Ladarius, Christy, Eric, Ricky. Y'all, we are Falcon fans. We are all in the off season, right? I know some people might put on their Chiefs jersey and go sit on the Chiefs couch.
Wait, what?
But we
Please don't mention the
Falcon.
Chiefs. My mom is a Chiefs fan.
I mean, there's some fans that get to the point in their life where I heard a fan tell me one time, I could have two teams. I got an NFC team and an AFC team. What's wrong with that?
That's crazy.
It's like,
well,
there's a lot that's wrong with that. But then again,
well,
you're
I
71.
got a homie named Jordan.
That's right.
He will, you know Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan has two teams. So Jordan is a Saints fan and an Eagles fan. But it's an interesting story, right?
I mean,
So
I heard the story about how he grew up and so forth. Now,
so
there's some fans that's just
right.
like, not the Jordan story. There's some fans that's like, this team's winning, they hot. I done snuck some shit.
Right.
Like, I done bought some fanatic shit randomly, and I'm in my house where, bro, let me tell you something. I ain't gonna call him out. God, I can't call him out.
Real quick, I'm sorry.
I'm about to say, put his name in the private chat.
Eric got it right. He said it be them people that eat the well done steak. Thank you.
Eat the well done steak.
Yo, Eric,
dang,
man, let's not
dang, Jack. You should have never let that out the bag, brother. I'm sorry. I just got to go ahead and call it.
A1, you know this. So on our show the other day, we had Big Low, and he was I think he was imitating who? Raheem, was he doing Raheem? Carrie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he was doing Raheem.
Didn't he say steaks are for losers, or did that come up during the show? That came up in one of
our. That came up during the show.
When I said,
remember,
I scratched off the stats are for losers, and I said, well done steaks.
That's right.
Yeah.
Steaks are for losers. That came up in one of our shows. So.
Yeah, we're on Jack now too, because we still got to get him to the dark side on how to properly eat a steak. Ricky Smith.
Big Low said, you ain't doing nothing but eating a Jordan 12.
You're doing the right thing. You guys over there eating that bleeding bandit over there. I don't know what's going on. I'm good. I'm good.
Hey,
well done for me, sir. Well
Big
done. And don't forget my damn container of ketchup too. I want my ketchup too.
Hey, Big Low say you eat some Jordan 12s, Jack.
Yeah, so Jordan. He said he might well just eat them Jordan 12s. I was like, dang, low.
I never thought of it like that because our friend Berto had a picture of his dinner on a picture of a table, and he had a steak on the plate with some rice. And once Lo said that, I was like, you know what? That kind of does look like a shoe.
Look, it doesn't taste like a boot. And when you cut into it, doesn't like, it's not like you're cutting a tire on a semi.
Hurry up and win again so we can get Carrie back.
No, let me tell you something. And I eat steak from some of the finest restaurants in the world.
No, y'all didn't just hear how she just started just going off in the background. You ain't heard it. You ain't pay her no attention. You ain't pay her no attention.
Berto, might get you in here, Berto. They try and get on me, but Berto calling. I told you, he's calling. I knew it. I knew it. Wow. Berto.
Hey, look, man, I gotta be live on this real quick, man. Would y'all stop with
Bro, what? I don't steak. I don't know what you've done to these people, but
rice, asparagus. Yo, that shit was hitting, man.
Yo,
had a little bit of Henny too.
They don't know, man. Carrie said they on the dark side of eating steak, so I already know where they're at. They on the other side of the fence. They ain't with us, bro. Sheesh. They're
Ricky
not with us,
Smith,
bro.
how do you eat your steak? I want to see how everybody in the chat eats their steak. I'm gonna try not to judge if you have well done steak, but
Hey, Berto, we gotta
anybody
get you on the
over the
next show. I
age
got you.
over the age of 18, you gotta have your steak cooked properly. Personally,
Hey, Carrie.
I'm
Telling you
sorry.
right now.
Mm-mm-mm.
Lowski in the chat, he meant steak done well.
How many have you ever timed it? You know, have you ever heard the saying like how many licks to the center Tootsie Pop? How many bites? How many chews till you get
Jack chewing for 30 minutes.
So
Jack got chewing for 30 minutes.
yo,
That's
look,
crazy.
once again, it's not like it's the roughest, like it's a tough, like you're pulling over here and you're taking 10, 15. It's a regular, it's just steak that they've cooked it a little bit longer.
It's burnt.
It's not burnt. It's not burnt. You gonna get if I ask Chef Matt to give me a steak that's well done, you think Chef Matt gonna give me a burnt steak? I'm sorry,
No.
Senior Executive Chef Matt.
But I was just gonna say that we gotta have him back on the show so we can ask he's the best person to ask. He's a chef. I mean, cooking the finest foods. We're gonna
Hold
see
on.
for
We're
one.
not gonna ask Chef Matt that on the
Yes,
show.
we
We're
are
definitely not
gonna
gonna ask
ask
Chef
him.
Matt.
We are.
Not live. Not live. I tell you that
Yes,
right
we
now.
are.
Everybody has their own preference. I know people who put mayonnaise. Cold mayonnaise on a hot sandwich. Let me tell you something, man. We done got away from Falcons. I'm about to get into some shit here. I know people who put cold mayonnaise on a hot sandwich.
No,
Why are
sorry.
you doing that?
You're trying to.
Why?
First
go
of
away from
all,
the subject.
mayonnaise is nasty anyway.
Thank you. I
But-
shouldn't get no chicken sandwich, and this chicken sandwich has been cooked, and it's hot. The lettuce,
I don't like mayonnaise.
not the lettuce is
I don't
hot.
know.
Damn tomatoes. Here comes this hot ass mayonnaise. I don't want no hot mayonnaise on my sandwich. I don't want no mayonnaise at all.
Oh,
But I know
shit.
people who will put cold mayonnaise
Oh, wow.
on a hot sandwich. Like, man, this shit good. That shit's
I
nice.
know some people put ketchup on a steak, a well done steak.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. A sauce is a
That
sauce.
crazy.
Salt and pepper
Ketchup
go
on
on shit.
steak. That's wild.
You turn
I
the
know.
steak into a hamburger.
I know and can hear shots when they're shot.
Look at Eric in the chat. He
Eric
said
said Jack
eats his
eating steak all day long. Damn. Shots fired.
All right, we're done. That's it. We're done. Matter of fact, we're canceling the next show. And the next show, this is our farewell show. We got out of here.
Oh, man.
Yo, come on, man. Well done steak. We need to set up a poll or something. Go around the Falcons community. Which steak do you prefer? Medium well, well done. I'm sure from the survey we're gonna get back. Yeah, we're gonna get back the response that there's gonna be more people that enjoy well done. I'm just telling you right now. I'm just putting it out there. Eric said Jack thinks mayonnaise is spicy.
It's gonna be more people that enjoy well done.
Hey man, I'm just saying, man.
Absolutely not.
I'm just saying, man. Scorpio's up here, Virgo's down here.
Hey,
it's just one of those things.
Scorpios are for real, but still.
I am in the AI and I do not have a morning routine.
Oh, we're about to get copyright strike. Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Carrie, A1, T Will. This has been great, man.
He gotta cancel the show to finish chewing.
Oh,
I want to respond. But I said 45 minutes ago we're gonna end the show.
I didn't know y'all was like this.
We're getting ready for draft night, and we're almost at 2.5 hours. This is what you're gonna get on draft night, and the 134th pick goes to the Titans. They just took John Owamale from Ohio. John Owamale is heading to the Tennessee Titans. We got 74 picks before we come up again.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be tough.
Eric Parker is the greatest. I don't give a damn what y'all say. Eric Parker is the GOAT. You hear me? Golly.
Manchester
man.
City.
Oh, that hurt my stomach.
Crazy, man.
FA Cup action.
Crazy stuff.
It's going down in a major way. A1, I guess you want to get to your shout outs again. You did your shout outs 30 minutes ago. You want to do it again?
Hey man.
Oh wow.
Hey man. I think they got them the first time, man. I think they just got bonus material at this point.
Y'all just getting bonus action at this point now, boy.
Oh
We
wow.
can get Scott Carisick in here. Go to about 7:30.
For real.
7:45.
Hey, Scott's gonna be on my show tonight, man. We're gonna be
Oh
looking at
my
Oh
god!
Lord,
Start now.
well,
You might want to start
that-
now.
It's only 45 minutes.
that's what you think.
Yeah. I tell everybody that.
Sheesh.
That's what T Will thinks. And then T Will gonna be looking up and saying, T Will gonna look up and be like, how the hell is it 9:15?
Bro, Scott talks Falcons, bro. Big shout out Scott Carisick.
Shout out to Scott, man. Hey man, Scott knows his
First
stuff,
question
man.
gonna be
Scott
asked at
knows his stuff.
8:03. By 8:27, Scott's midway through the answer of the first question. He talks Falcons. He gets very detailed about talking Falcons. He wants the fans to know it's just bigger than putting on the jersey and the helmet and going out there and, hitting each other. Scott breaks down the Atlanta Falcons. I'm sure you guys are going to talk salary cap, all that stuff. Scott is good when it comes to talking Falcons. And he keeps it real. You know what I'm saying? So he might say some things that's going to maybe upset some fans. He's going to probably talk draft too as well. He's already big in the draft boards. He's moving toward that direction. Scott, A1, Birdo, Smitty, you got guys over there that they do this 24/7. They love this shit. You know what I'm saying? So reach out to these other content creators, for those in the chat, for those that's watching, for those that's listening, and get a chance to, listen to what everybody has to say here in the Falcons community, because you have some diehard fans that keep it real. And of course, A1 is one of them too as well. A1. You done with your shout outs, A1? You good?
Oh, yeah, man. Just come on over to the channel, you know what I'm saying? YouTube, A1 Forever Sports. So I said again, Twitter, A1 Forever, same for Instagram. The real A1 Forever on TikTok, man. Y'all make sure y'all come on over. Hey, it's gonna be a long off season, but I know I'm about to crank up more Hawks talk. I know I'm pretty sure T Will is gonna be a part of that. We'll be working with other content creators. Also, possibly you're going to be working with a different platform as well with some Hawks content. So we'll see what just happens, man. It's just 2025 and needs to continue to grow. So that's what it's all about, man.
Man, big shout out to Chris, A1 Forever, man. Of course, Chris, you also just did a nice interview with Mike Conti.
Yes.
As well. You want to speak about that? Because I know some fans love listening to Mike Conti on the radio station. He's moved up and taken the executive producer role, I believe, now.
Yeah, he's the brand. I know he's the brand manager over there, and I know he's definitely on the play-by-play for Atlanta United. Does a good job over there for that. But just wanted to get his thoughts about what he thought about the Falcon season, as he has been holding it down really since 2012, I believe, when they brought him in to 92.9, and so he's been with them ever since, covering the Atlanta teams. He actually made a joke, and he was like, "Man, it hasn't brought us any good luck yet." But hey man, Mike, he just kept it real from where he saw things, and great interview. If you haven't seen that, please go over to A1 Forever Sports and check that interview out. Check out his thoughts. It's definitely unfiltered, and hey, it's a good interview. I think. I hate we got cut off, but he's supposed to be back on.
Interview.
Oh, thank you, Sierra.
I mean, I honestly didn't want it to end. It was very good. You asked him some great questions, and he had some great responses as well.
Right. Thank you again, Kerry. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get him back in. I feel like that was definitely one of those interviews that kind of just flowed. Before you knew it, it was over. One of those type of interviews.
Right.
So, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
Chris, you want to tell them about your good news, man? I know you're all modest or whatever. You want to tell them about your good news?
Well, I mean, that's what I had said too about doing some Hawks content on a different platform as well. That's the whole thing about with the company called Digest Media now, and they have a Hawks content creator role that they want your boy to go slide into and help out with. And that's what I'm happy for thankful for the opportunity. Just trying to get some configurations done and get everything done on my end, and go through a few meetings, and you know how it happens. It's in the behind the scenes about business things and business ventures. So I'm just dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and so hopefully by next week I'll be having that in motion as well.
What's going on? What is this? Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, he tore his Achilles. Boy, we dodged the bullet.
He what?
Boy, we dodged the bullet.
Possibly gonna be
Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles again. Hey, AT Will. Don't that sound like Mike Soroka?
Yes, it does. Yes, sir. Or
Bro, he
Greg
can
Oden.
miss all of 2025.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Too many
So
TikToks
where do the
of
Browns pick in this draft?
I believe they
What?
have second. No, I think they have second overall pick. I believe.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh man, this is getting real when it comes to that quarterback situation now. And the draft is going to be fun. So just get ready for draft night here. I just can't wait for. Oh man, this is
They're going to trade for Kirko.
well.
They're gonna have
There's
to
been there's been a couple, rumors that it's possible that Kirko could be on their list of quarterbacks to look for. I think the Giants was also one of the teams too as well. But right now, Shadur Sanders coming out, Cam Ward coming out. I think the kid from Penn State's coming out. But I mean, they'll see. They'll see who's going to be top 5 picks with Travis Hunter and some of these other guys. But Miss Carey. You there, Miss Carey?
I'm here.
Oh, your shout outs for today. This has been a great time talking Falcons football. Of course, we always want to talk for an hour, but sometimes we go to 2.5 hours. But that's because we love chatting with the fans, and it's the off season. Everybody's just relaxing and cooling. So your shout outs for today on this Falcon Friday.
Yeah, this has been so much fun. Shout out to you, Jack, T Will, Chris A1 forever. Shout out to all you guys. Shout out to everybody in the chat. It was so much fun, honestly. I know I've been a little bit savage the last week. Well, no, really since last Sunday, so it hasn't been quite a week yet, but just been a little savage, I got this fire in me that just since the Falcons ended the season the way they did, honestly, but normally I'm not like that. So anyways, yeah, I just want to also shout out, we didn't mention it, but the All-Pro team was released today. Unfortunately, Chris Lindstrom was snubbed. He wasn't first team, but he's our only Falcon that got second team. So shout out to him. Congratulations to him. And yeah, hope everybody has a great weekend. Stay warm and stay safe and stay happy and healthy.
There you go.
Now that's great. That not only
we're gonna put a helmet on Carrie and some shoulder pads and let her get that aggression out.
I will say,
right?
Of course, with the one time for the fan chat, leading up to that Washington game and then the Panther game, there was definitely a lot of conversation of, I can't believe we're in this position. We got to go beat the Commanders. Just the adrenaline, just watching the game and then leading at the half. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of thinking, we got this. Carrie's going through this as a fan, the same way I'm going through it, the same way T Will going through it, the same way A1's going through it. We see everything the Falcons did this year with the roller coaster season. Right. And you get down to the last game where you have to beat Carolina and the Saints have to win. And you're looking at your scoreboard watching. So I see where Carrie comes from, right? She's a diehard fan, but at the end of the day, she had to go through these last 2 weeks that had her blood pressure probably up here, because of the Falcons. Right. So you see 2025, Carrie started off as a savage. She's just going full savage mode. She's going in. But that is the response to what the team has. That's the response to what the team has done in 2024.
Don't let them drop you in coverage.
Oh, gosh. Eric's going to let them drop you in coverage.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey.
They're going to have me looking like Judon out there.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. Seeing Judon, let me not even go to it. If I go to it, it's going to be another hour. But seeing Judon in coverage, that was just a lot going on that should never been going on. T Will, former ATL Sports, one time for the fan, man. 2.5 hours. I guess we're preparing for draft night, 3 months away.
Mm-hmm.
T Will, man, your shout outs, man.
Okay, first and foremost, I'd like to shout out Miss Leanne Loftus and Miss Mimi, is it Hids or something like that? They are both battling cancer right now. Their battle is chronicled well on Facebook. A lot of you guys know them and are friends with them. I believe Miss Leanne Loftus had surgery the other day. It went well, but again, she is battling cancer, so just wanted to give her some encouragement. I believe Mimi is going through chemotherapy, so just wanted to give both of them a shout out. And just, hey man, well wishes and keep on going and keep on fighting, because that Big C is tough, man. But hey, so far Carrie and Mimi have been tougher, and hey, keep it going. With that being said, everybody in the chat who joined us, everybody, Even Kenneth, even though we had a little back and forth. Hey, man, Kenneth, just messing with you. You know, it is what it is. You got the right to feel how you feel, brother. And I can't get in the way of that. And hey, man, feel how you feel. So, but everybody in the chat, thank you for joining. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be with us. We appreciate that. We thank you. We do this because of you. And definitely want to thank God. Would not be here without him. Thank him every day for waking me up, and thank him every day for doing all that he does for me and my family. He continues to bless me. And if you don't know him, you need to get to know him. Last but not least, thank you to Mr. Jack Spade and Eric Parker for giving me a start in this business. Appreciate you guys, and we'll forever be grateful. And that's all I got, Jack. It's now on you, sir.
Big shout out to everybody in the chat. One time for the fan, from the fan, for the fan. Falcons fans talking Falcons football on this Falcons Friday. Much love to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all just know what to say, when to say it at the right time. Ladarius, Jamal, Eric, Wallace, Smith, Jamal Hill, everybody who was in the chat tonight, who's going to listen to the show later, who's going to talk about the show later. Thank you all. If you're tuning in to For My ATL Sports later on, I think he just dropped the news for you all. I mean, Scott Carissa is going to be on there tonight, so that's going to be fun to have Scott Carissa and Terry talking Falcons. So get your popcorn ready for that. It's going to be a long off season, so content creators, of course, Myles Garrett, people that cover the Falcons, we're going to be busy too as well. I'm sure the Falcons are going to be busy this off season, trying to get back right for the 2025 season. And look, we have a celebrity in the chat. We got Bodie's Best. He said, all my family, all the love at Jack Spade, get in your snowplow and shovel at Alaska. That's so funny that Bodie's here. I've been trying to call Bodie. This is unacceptable. Bodie. You can't have the wires like this.
Wow.
This is unacceptable. And you can't get paid for this. This right here. This right here will get you
don't up. Take that, Bodie.
Because now I have to go through and try to get this untangled.
Wow.
So yeah, Bodie. And I also noticed you can't be sitting here watching BET Plus during work, Bodie.
Oh wow.
You need to get back to work.
Wow.
And stop using people's subscriptions. You saying something?
Roughness on Jack. That's a penalty.
One time. Fan, from the fan, for the fan. Big shout out to Kerry. Big shout out to Bodie. Big shout out to A1. Big shout out to T-Will. Hey, y'all. Rise up. See y'all. What is it? Friday? See y'all Sunday night at 8, y'all.